Sai Ram everyone, and welcome to Good Morning with Gayathri Mantra, a series of conversations wherein we are going to listen to people who begin their day with the Gayathri Mantra and then fly through the day on the wings of the power of the Gayathri Mantra. And we have with us Yasas sir, Mr. Yasas. He is someone who has experienced the immense power of the Gayathri Mantra, a professional pilot. After flying for decades, now he is there teaching Bhagwan students in the Brindavan campus as well as students in the nursing college in Bhagwan's hospital. He is going to become 75 in a month or two, and he does not use the lift. He does not wear spectacles. He is as energetic as perhaps someone half his age, and he has experienced and benefited the medical marvels of chanting the Gayathri Mantra. Let us just listen to his story, because you will get a glimpse of what Gayathri Mantra can do to you. Sir, I know you have experienced so much, but let's begin with that story of vitamin D.
Right. Offering my humble prayers to Bhagavan in gratitude for giving this opportunity to share the power and potency of Gayathri Mantra. In 2010, suddenly I was laid down with very high fever, which resulted in the doctors letting me know that I have zero vitamin D in the body and nothing could be done because of age. So all that I had then was Gayathri Mantra to support me. My father used to tell me once upon a time that I should take Gayatri as a sadhana. So I started the sadhana of doing 108 times chanting in the morning, in the early morning hours. I would always start the chanting at 5 a.m. in the morning, and maybe about 45 minutes or so approximately it would take. And in the process, I found that things were slowly improving, that I was able to move and work as before without any medication, because the doctors told me very clearly that at my age medication for vitamin D is out of question. It so happened in 2013 I was called for taking part in the Gayatri panel discussion. So out of curiosity, I went to the laboratory to get a test done on vitamin D, and even I was shocked that within a span of 2 years with no medication whatsoever, the vitamin D levels rose up nearly normal. They told me 30 was normal, I was at 26.
Oh.
When the deficiency was found 3 years earlier, it was literally 0, the figure was just 4. Against 30.
Wow.
So from
and you took no medication?
I took no medication whatsoever.
Wow.
And just chanted the Gayatri Mantra, but always at the same time. I mean, there is a relationship to this in the sense that Swami says that whatever we are doing, we must do it as a system.
Yes.
So I stuck to the same timing, always recited the Gayatri Mantra with love, remembering Swami all the time. And this was the very first one. And even the doctor was surprised. He said, "Sir, you are standing for 2 hours a day. Without sitting, you are conducting class. You don't eat breakfast. But only an outside force can help like this."
Wow.
This was the remarks by Dr. Joshi at that time. And that was the beginning of experiencing the potency of Gayatri Mantra in my case. That is how it all started.
Wow. So, who initiated into this Gayatri chanting?
I was initiated at the age of 12 years by my father, who who not only initiated me into the Gayathri Mantra, but he also made me do the Gayathri Homa for a period of 1 year at home.
Oh.
And he would tell me that Brahma Tejas would come. And
Brahma Tejas, the shine
would come.
of the divine.
And I didn't understand what it was then. But in later years, by the time 2010 when I started the sadhana, with Swami at the background connecting to God all the time, it was clear that the meaning of Brahma Tejas is, you look at a person, you see some sort of an aura, and you know that this person is chanting Gayatri.
Wow.
In fact, one mathematics teacher joined the Sathya Sai college at Brindavan, and somebody brought him to introduce me at the store. I looked at him, I said, "Are you doing Gayatri?"
Oh.
He said, "Yes sir, I do Gayatri." So I understood that this is what is Brahma Tejas is all about. So I was initiated into that.
So 1 year you did Homam?
1 year I did Gayatri.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Father would lead, he would teach me, and I did the home.
So as a child, you did it only because your father told you, right?
Yes, because you don't much understand
Correct.
at that time what exactly. He told me that your wishes will be fulfilled, Brahma Tejas will come, it will protect you.
So did anything happen in the childhood like that?
Many things happened. One of them, for example, I used to, my father used to ask me to press his legs. So I was 12 years, I was walking on top of him, he was lying down on the floor, which did not have any mat or anything like that, naked floor. And I was bored, father had gone to sleep and I was walking over him. I didn't know what to do, so I opened the cupboard which was in front of me, and there was a 4-inch iron nail in that. I picked it up, kept looking around, didn't know what to do next, saw a plug there and put it right into it. And next was that both my father and myself, we were thrown away a distance. So, but not a scratch on me. I didn't learn my lesson from that. Within a few days of that, I had returned from school when the mother informed me that the power supply won't be there because we have not paid the electricity bill and have removed the fuse. So I went and looked at that place. Right below that was iron bar grill. So catching hold of the iron bar in one hand with the naked feet, I put my finger right into the fuse to see whether electricity is there, and it threw me 20 feet away onto the opposite wall. Once again, no damage, nothing happened. This was my earliest experiences.
But you knew?
I did not know.
You didn't know.
I was connecting dot backwards,
Wow.
and therefore I know this is what my father said. This is what
Gayatri
it meant
can
was. This is what Gayatri can do. So the general, this thing that how fortunate I was in reciting the Gayatri at least once a day came to my mind, and then I began to take it as a sadhana subsequently.
So as you later on moved on to your professional career, you used to chant Gayatri Mantra?
My father took a promise that I will do Gayatri 3 times a day. But when I went to college and went to the Air Force, the outside world grabbed me. My vision changed from God to the outside world. But still, because I gave promise to my father, I would do 1 time a day. But even that 1 time, now that I am looking backwards, protected me in my flying career spanning 29 years, where I have seen many a problem area. Many times the internal fear was there that today is my last day, but I would come unscathed at the end of the day. I lost a number of my friends, but nothing particularly happened to me. And in one such incident, I was teaching an army major how to do spin. A spin is an exercise which you start at 8,000 feet, and where the aeroplane spirals around all the 3 axes, and you plummet downwards looking at the ground. The ground rushes at you. Every turn the aeroplane turns, you lose 1,000 feet. So the standard practice is 8,000 start, 2 turns, 6,000, recovery 1,000, 5,000 is the ceiling off. You can't come below. In this particular case, I was teaching this major. I had introduced him to the spin. He did it very nicely. So I told him, you got controls, you show me a spin. He went into the spin very nicely. First turn over, second turn over. So recovery, I found all silence, nothing happened. I said, Majumdar, what happened? No reply. I said, Majumdar, come on man. We are already coming 4,000 feet, we have crossed our limits. So suddenly I felt like I should pull the stick back and take over control. When I did that, I found that he had frozen on the controls.
Oh my God.
And he was a solid fellow, I was a thin fellow, and I didn't have the power to overpower him to take that pressure off. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. The ground is rushing at me. And for such emergencies, there are no standard operating procedures which flying gives you. This is something out of the book. Suddenly a flash came and I heard myself say, see, the plane will come out by itself.
Oh.
What made me say that? Till today I do not know. This sort of a flash messages, later I understood, is how God talks to you.
Wow.
How the power of Gayatri comes to you. And I have been experiencing it many times over the years till today.
Wow.
I have been continuing to experience that. So the end story was that I got just enough time. The moment I used the word, see, plane come off by itself, I found him relaxing on the controls, giving me a chance to take over. We were just about 1,000 feet around when I took over. One more turn and we would be into the grounds. So this was something amazing that took place during my service career. There have been other incidents.
So this was the time you didn't know Swami and the only thing you were doing was chanting the Gayathri Mantra.
For me, I didn't know Swami, but I was a believer in God in general. And I also had this problem in me that God can come only as a human being. And I had this dichotomy that human being cannot be God. So I was going through that phase, and accordingly I paid a price also. Swami always has been dealing with me in the Sukshma Rupa rather than in the physical form. It has always been more in that. So the very fact of connecting to God through the Gayathri Mantra is more than adequate in my experience.
Wow.
Into coming out of all your problems.
Wow. I mean, they say, you know, Gayatri Mata is Sarva Roga Nivarini, and you have experienced that.
Yes.
I mean, the very fact that you're alive and you're healthy and so vibrant is because of the Gayatri Mantra.
Absolutely.
You don't take any medicine and you don't wear glasses.
I don't wear glasses. That is something again, somewhere around 45 years, all of us go through myopic condition and we have to wear reading glasses. So too, I also started. When I was in the Air Force, I used to wear those glasses when I crossed the 45 years. I joined Swami's ashram at Brindavan wearing those glasses. But because the sadhana had started, I don't remember really, I now can't go back and put a fixed date. But maybe about 4 or 5 years down the line, I used to keep 4 glasses, one for travel, one in my bag, one in the workplace, one at the bedroom. Suddenly the need to wear glass went off without my knowledge.
Wow.
I really, even now I don't know
After
when.
you started the Gayatri
After
Sadhana.
I started the Gayatri Sadhana. It is from then, at least now for a period of minimum 9 years.
Wow.
This is how I have, in fact I brought my glasses. This is how I used to look once upon a time. And I have...
You're becoming younger.
I had to locate this just for today's this thing.
Wow.
And I'm not wearing any glasses, I'm reading as comfortable as anyone else.
Wow.
This is something amazing once again, this is something amazing.
Wow.
But of course, I recall Swami having said somewhere, that along with the Gayatri Mantra, if one can recite Aditya Hridayam,
Yes.
the two combination works very well. Now, in my particular case, the Aditya Hridayam was taught to me by my father in my young days. So, I have been reciting that as well.
Oh, wow.
So, now it is a combination of Aditya Hridayam and Gayatri.
I mean,
put
both
together.
are actually adorations to the sun.
Sun god, yes.
And you know, the power of the sun, basically our eyes are connected to the sun, as Swami says, mind is connected to the moon. So you are actually drawing power from the sun. And you are radiating the grace and the shine of the sun.
Absolutely.
Basically.
In the initial days, I thought it was the sun. But if you read Swami closely, he says the effulgence,
Yes.
which gives the power to the sun. So
The
that
sun
means,
of the sun.
Yeah, that means he can light up 1,000 suns.
Yes.
And you cannot describe that effulgence. That descends, depending on our ability to
to
take that.
Yes.
To take that.
Wow.
This has been the experience as far as the eyesight is concerned. So far, so good. Though I'm approaching now 74,
Fantastic.
I have not felt any problem. That's it.
And the Gayathri Mata is also adored as the one who fulfills all your desires.
Yes.
And if you look at your life, was it that you always wanted to become a pilot? Or did Gayathri again piloted you into this profession?
See, in my case, I'm always now connecting everything backwards. Ever since the sadhana I started, until then I was not aware. But what my father taught me and what Swami taught, because I am teaching the subject for our students here, a lot of jigsaw puzzles fell into place. I was 12 years and we used to lie down on empty floor staring into the sky when I was young because it was a hot place. And one such day, as I was looking in the night sky, I saw something moving. By then I had already started the Gayathri chant, and something inside me said, how nice it would be if I was to sit in that moving thing.
Be in the sky.
No,
be in the
inside
moving
that
thing.
moving thing. And within a few years, believe me, 12 years of age we are talking about. By 16, one is already, in our days, I was in PU. But I finished PU, gave up college to join a scholarship flying.
Wow.
And out of 250 candidates, I competed against and got that scholarship.
Wow.
And I sat in that little thing. So this is what I understood, Vancha Palashri, and it is not the end. Similarly, I had some bad habits. I gave up those bad habits because Swami came and said that I must give up those bad habits. I said, because I used to chew tobacco. So one day the thought came, Swami, I misused my tongue for this wrong purpose. Now that I have started singing Your Glory by bhajans, why don't you give me a bhajan of my own? With that thought, while traveling in a bus, I went off to sleep. And a bhajan rolled in by itself, all set very well. If you have time...
Oh yeah, please sing 2-3 lines.
It was on Devi. Rajeshwari, Saishwari, Jai Jagajanani, Saishwari. Bhava Bhaya Bhanjani, Papa Vinashini, Palaya Palaya Partini Vasini, Palaya Palaya Partini Vasini, Rajeshwari, Saishwari. This is something which came by itself. I mean, I have more such incidents on the Vancha Palashri. Swami says in Gayatri while talking, pure thought is very essential.
Yes.
If you can become like a child and think something pure and recite Gayatri, he says you are assured it is taken care of.
Wow.
So nice it is.
Wow.
So nice it
So
is.
you have an instance for that? Pure thought and the power of Gayatri propelling it.
Both the incidents which I am saying was pure thought. For example, I was very young, I was pure in my mind.
Yes.
I just wanted to sit there. You see, when I went for my Air Force selection, everyone looked at me. They said, "You are a skinny fellow. You will not go there. Look at your friend who is going. He looks like a tomato. He is the person who will join the Air Force." But they were all rejected on the first day. On the entrance day, they were rejected. I stayed for full 6 days, completed everything. I didn't have a chest. A farmer came to my help. He said, I must do rope climbing, I will get my chest. I don't know, we all look at farmers as unpaid people, but something told me, believe him. So I believed.
So this farmer told you to do rope climbing and you built your chest?
1.5 months I got my 2 inches of chest.
Wow.
I will keep climbing until my hands bleed. But I believed in him. Now these are all pure thoughts. There are so many more. In fact, I could give you one more quick example. I came to Swami. I was still in the Air Force. So I used to tell Swami as boss. I'll tell him, hey boss, this is the way I used to address him in the initial days. So we were sitting in bhajan in the initial days. Swami's chair was in the center. I am sitting diagonally across. Aarti had started. The flower is there on Swami's chair. Fans are off. Winter time in any case, no air. As the Aarti was going on, I had this thought, hey boss, now that I have come to you, I hear that your malas will swing, this will take place, that will take. Why don't you just lift that flower off and give it to me? Even before I concluded that thought, that flower took off and came and fell in my hand in Delhi.
Wow.
All the Samiti were witness to this.
Oh my God.
And I used to call him boss, not even Swami. So, it's amazing, the power of pure thought. Amazing, amazing. That's all I can tell you.
Wow. So now, when you talk to the students, you tell them about the power of Gayathri in
I
Brindavan.
share every bit of this.
Wow.
I mean, there have been so many times how I ran and climbed buses literally to fall, but that would not happen. How I would trip and go around, 100% I would fall close to the ground. Last moment I'll pick up. Because now Gayatri as a sadhana, when I talk to nobody, it starts by itself in the heart.
Wow.
So, in other words, one must internalize Gayatri to get the benefit of it. Not talking to anyone, traveling anywhere, sitting quiet, start Gayatri.
The life should become continuous sadhana. Gayatri should be going on.
Absolutely.
Then you will experience the protective power.
Actually, people don't appreciate it. They look at that they need to go to doctors for the smallest things. They don't want to experiment with this. That's a sad aspect of the whole thing.
But
if
your
they
life
can
is a
take
live
on-
example.
Mine is a live example, no doubt about it.
Yes.
No doubt about it. I mean, people, there are witnesses all around in the ashram. They have seen me everywhere during these years.
Yes.
I have done like that.
And you are an inspiration for all the students. And
That's all Swami's will, I would say.
wonderful. Sir. Thank you
That's about
so
all.
much
Thank you
for
so much.
driving down all the way and coming to share these beautiful instances of the power and the efficacy of the Gayathri Mantra.
Thank you
Dear
so much.
viewers, the spiritual conference in Prasanthi Nilayam is going to happen on November 20th and 21st. And one of the main areas of discussion is the chanting of the Gayathri Mantra. We are going to have the Gayathri Mantra chanting rendered by Bhagwan, and there is going to be a collective rendition of the chanting of the Gayathri Mantra in the Sai Kulwant Hall. So even as we prepare for this beautiful event, it is really a great opportunity to take up this sadhana and see for ourselves the beautiful effulgence that Gayatri can fill our lives with. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्